USA. He has conducted more than 1,600 training programs till date for educational institutions, corporates, and voluntary organizations. He won the Ravi Puraskar, the National Award for the Most Outstanding Trainer of JCI India in the year 2012. He was the first 5-star rated trainer of Junior Chamber International for JCI courses from India. He was the faculty team member of the Asian Leadership Academy at Singapore in the year 2015 and 16. He has conducted trained Malia organized by JCI in April of 2007. He has conducted training programs at USA, Canada, Germany, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, UAE, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Mongolia. Apart from JCI, he is an active Rotarian and is the founder president of the Rotary Club of Palakkad Fort and was the assistant governor of Rotary District 3201 for the year 2018 and 2009. He is a life skill coach by profession and is the chief executive of Signal Green, who are into training, consulting, and mentoring. He is the state head of Global Ghana Sales and Services Private Limited. With immense pride and privilege, let me present before you the trainer for the last day of 4 races, JCI Senator Santosh Kumar.
I think that calls for a right. So over to you, Santosh sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mehdi. Thank you very much. Good evening to all of you. It's a matter of great pleasure to address this mixed crowd of JCI India as well as JCI Bangladesh. I think there are some participants, there may be some participants from JCI Nepal also will be joining for this session. Training, so privileged. One of the blessings this lockdown period which has given us is that most of us became global citizens because the barriers were broken. During the other days, we cannot even dream about a session like this. And JCI and Bangladesh. Now there are no barriers. The entire universe is one. So you can have participants. Recently, Varsha got graduated from a JCI course which is conducted online, where participants from Europe, America, Africa, and Asia were participants. So amazing. So this is one of the blessings. This is a positive, one positive side which we can find out during this COVID lockdown days. My dear friends, we don't have much time for preface during this webinar sessions because the time is very limited. So without much preface, let me start sharing my screen and start my program. The screen is visible, Mehdi?
Yes, sir. The screen is visible.
Okay, fine. That's good. So once again, good evening to all of you. Welcome to this short webinar training program. And it is named as different strokes for different folks. You might have heard this usage, this terminology. And you know what is the meaning of this. So I want, during my sessions as a trainer, I was totally an interactive trainer. And I want this webinar session also in an interactive mode, most of the times in the most possible way. So I want to start this session with a question. What is your understanding about this statement, different strokes for different folks? You can start typing in the chat box. So first task. Everyone can start typing in your chat box. What do you mean by, what is the understanding of this statement, different strokes for different folks? So I think that everybody is in a warming up. There are different ways to handle different people. Fantastic, Meenakshi Gupta. There is one answer for many questions, a different approach for each and every one. Needs are different for each individual. Everyone is unique. Different situations should be handled differently. Fantastic. So, my dear friends, let me ask you a very, very simple question. What is the definition of JCI? What is the definition of JCI, which is defined by Junior Chamber International itself? Over the time, we had new definitions, which was updated or upgraded. And in the last JCI Congress at Estonia, we adopted a new definition for JCI. Very simple definition. Again, you can start typing. So every slide, for a few of the slides, you have questions. So I know that you are all very learned about organization of young entrepreneurs. No bridging the gap. No. What is the new definition? A simple sentence. Create impact in the society. Rakesh Sinha. No. Junior Chamber International. Mehdi. No. I'm not asking the expansion. What is the definition of Junior Chamber International? I don't want expansion of this. Connecting people. Still, people are thinking. Developing leaders around the world. Tarif Khan, you are close. You are close. First part is correct. Empowering young people to create positive change. That was old one. I want the latest one. Because that is having a connection with our topic. Service to humanity. Piyush Goswami. Okay. I think we are not reaching anywhere near to the answer. Bridging the gap again. Praveen, I will take two more answers. Training platform, global leadership. No. So the answer is this. Developing leaders for a changing world. That is the new definition for Junior Chamber International. That is the purpose. So this is an organization who is developing leaders for a changing world. My dear friends, my question is, what is leadership? What is leadership? Again, third question. So now after this, there will be a small gap. You can be relaxed. This is the third question. If you take the management terminologies, leadership is a word which is having most number of definitions. If you go to the management books, so there are a lot of definitions for leadership. What is your definition? I'm asking your individual definition. I'm not asking you any textbook definition. The individual definition of each and every one of you about leadership. What is leadership according to you? Very simple. Very simply, you can write. Don't complicate it. Mehdi, you can mute. Okay. Making impact. Leadership is leading people to achieve results. Subramanian, Subbu is a great leader. To control and manage, ability to lead and influence others. Leadership themselves, make it simple. Role model for others, to guide people. Front runner, good one. A way of motivating, nurturing everyone to around to be leaders, to a lot of things, managing things or getting things done effectively. That is close. Gumidi Prashant, you are very close, Gumidi. Show to others how a leader should be. A leader shows the path to his team. Wonderful. Everything is correct. That's why I told you there are a lot of definitions. There are maximum definitions for leadership, and the simplest definition, and I don't mean to say that this is the only definition for leadership. The simple definition, the simplest definition I have came through, I have adopted in my life as a leader in JCI and in my profession or wherever it is. It is very simple. What my understanding is, leadership is your ability to get things or get results through others. As simple as that. Leadership is the ability to get results through others. So for getting results through others, we require a lot of things. Okay. Most important thing is your ability to influence others. If you want others, everybody do things for their own reasons. Okay. We all know that everybody do things for their own reasons. If somebody want to do anything for you, it is your ability to influence that personality or that person. So it is leadership is nothing but getting results through others. So, my dear friends, managing others is an art. No doubt about it. Managing others is an art. Words of Steve Jobs. Management is about persuading people to do things they don't want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. We are speaking about leadership. We are talking about leadership because we belongs to a global organization of young leaders and entrepreneurs. So definitely we are focusing more on leadership. So he's telling, Steve Jobs is while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could, management is about persuading people to do things they don't want to do. For both of the things, management, definitely there are other things which is persuading people. In leadership, it is your ability to convince them. It is your ability to influence them to get the results, my dear friends. So let us start this with what you can say, with some fun. So now the animals in your kingdom is going to be this segment, okay? And I'm going to speak about few animals which we come across in day-to-day life. If that animal is resembling any of the member of your loom, or any member in your office, or any member in your other organization, it is a coincidence, coincidence. It is not intentional, please pardon me. Okay, let us see which are the animals we are coming across in day-to-day life. Even we can even think about a JCI loom also. So you can connect with each animal with some or other person in your loom. Okay, let us see which are the animals and how they can be tackled. So we will start with this very lighter segment of my session. So lion, we are seeing lions, right? I am not talking about Lions Club International. It is a lion, real lion in the forest. This type of people with the lionistic attitude gets in and fights whenever others disagree with his plans, his or her. Okay, it can be a lady lion also. Okay, lioness. Okay, gets in and fight whenever others disagree with his or her plans or interferes with his desires. Okay, these people always fights. They will be having their own plans, their own ideas. When the group is not considering those ideas and plans, they create all the problems. They roar, they create problems, they fight, and they create all the big havoc. One thing we have to understand is this type of people are very experienced people. Okay, definitely they might have contributed a lot to this organization. This lion type of people, they might have contributed a lot to this organization in yesteryears. Just think, is there any lion in my loom? Is there any lion in my office, in my business? So how to handle this type of people? How to handle this people with the attitude of a lion, or who acts or reacts as a lion? It is very simple, my dear friends. This lions needs ego satisfaction. They are highly egoistic because they are big contributors to the organization. They are very much seniors in the organization. That is why they want to prove that they know everything, and they contribute a lot of ideas which they expect instantly everybody will be accepting. So what they can do, what we can do is we can satisfy their ego, and in the initial phase itself, don't oppose to their ideas. Try to go with their ideas, make them feel that they are very important in the organization, and their ideas are being valued. That is the best way to handle this light type of people. And there are second type of people which are called peacocks. You know what is the uniqueness of peacock, or what is the peculiarity of peacock? Peacocks always want to show off, always showing off, competing for attention. See what a fine fellow I am. There are people who will be coming to your meetings, coming to your programs with this peacock feathers. They want to show off. Yeah, see. So these people they want to show off. They want only recognition and appreciation. If you recognize them, if you make them feel that you are recognized and you are appreciated, they are happy. So this peacocks are not peacocks will not create much problems usually, like lions. They will come, sit and show off. Just appreciate them, or just make them feel that they are important. And you can handle peacocks they are not problematic animals or problematic category. And number 3, we have donkeys. These are slightly problematic. Usually when we refer to donkeys, when we speak about donkeys, that we used to tell that donkeys are not having brains. Usually this type of people show that, or make us understand that they have no brains, because they will be very stubborn. They will not change their point of view. So whatever they are arguing, they will never try to change their point of view. Even though you take all your effort to convince them about the point which is which is true, which is correct, and which can be adopted, they will not agree. They will block it. They are very stubborn. The best way to handle donkeys are, convincing is impossible since they won't understand anything. Just bulldoze and go ahead. Number 3 is giraffe. You know, giraffe, the neck is so high. Giraffes look down on others and the programs in general, feeling that I'm above all this childish nonsense. These people also like this. So they may be feeling that during our tenure, 10 years before, how it was organized. Oh, these are all children. They don't know how to organize programs. So like that, they look at things from a height, seeing that the other people are very small. I think you understood. Okay, others are very small. So they are having that seniority ego. And they feel that they know everything and the others are children. They don't understand the potential of the young generation also. So my dear friends, the best way to handle this type of people is when we used to learn or we used to teach in sales or selling skills, agree to disagree. Yes, but technique. Whatever opinions they are telling, you can agree. Yes, sir, I agree with you. But the fact is that once you say yes, 50% of their problem is over. Then slowly we can make them understand. Again, they are not dangerous. Giraffes won't make any problem in your organization. Only thing is that their superiority complex is slightly high. Number 4 is elephant. Elephant also is, if not handled properly, they can create a lot of damages because elephants are very powerful. So you know that in size and power, elephants are very powerful. When elephants are agitated, they simply blocks your way. They stubbornly blocks the group from continuing along the road to their desired goal. They create all the problems in the organization because they are very powerful. They know that they are powerful, and if they are not considered properly, they will block your way, and you will not, they will not allow you to proceed. So the best way to handle elephants is to negotiate and accept. And definitely, elephants are not liabilities to any organization. Elephants, this elephant type of people who are very powerful, they can contribute physically, financially. They will be having big networks. That is why they are called elephants. Okay, there may be few elephants in any organization, any local organization, or any other business or social organizations. So understand that or accept that they are elephants and treat them accordingly. Negotiate with them and accept their point of view. And I had an experience. I had a program in a very big company. I'm not naming the company. A few years back. So the ice breaking session was going on. Okay. So I was asking everyone to introduce themselves. When I reached one person, I think he is more than 60. He stood up and told that I joined this organization when you were 12 years old. In my profile, my date of birth was announced. He told, I joined this organization when you were 12 years old. There is no point in telling that. He can tell that my name is this, so and so. He could have told like that. But he want me to understand, don't play with me, my boy. I am very senior in this organization. I understood what is the problem. I easily understood that he is an elephant. So I handled them very properly, sir. And we will call him Shiva Shankar. Okay, Shiva Shankar, sir. I really salute your seniority in this organization. And in all my points, I was quoting Shiva Shankar, sir. And while coming back after the session, Shiva Shankar, sir, became one of my greatest fans. So, my dear friends, so elephants also very key people in your organization. They even though they can block your way, but you can hit on the elephant and control them to the way you want to proceed. As I said, handle them properly, handle with care. Oh, this is snakes. There may be snakes in every organization. We know how snakes function or how snakes acts or reacts. Snakes hide in the grass and strikes unexpectedly. Okay, this is the trait we are discussing in this particular point. Snakes hides in the grass and strikes unexpectedly. They are unpredictable. Okay, at which point of time they are biting you? They are highly poisonous also. So we can find few snakes in every organization which can really make you lose, which can make your life miserable. So once you understand it is a snake, handle them with care. Handle them with care. Definitely, if it is a snake and if that snake is aiming at you, snake will bite you or one or other point of time. So the best way to handle snakes is as simple as that. Whenever you get the right chance to hit and finish off that snake, that is better for your next level. Okay. So the next thing is the monkey. Monkey again also the monkeys will not create any problem. Only thing monkeys do is they fools around, chatters a lot, and prevents group from concentrating on any serious business. Okay, so monkeys will not create any problems for the organization. Only thing is that they will talk nonsense continuously. Okay, so only thing, a very simple way to handle monkeys: ignore them. Okay, ignore them. Monkeys that create problems, but they will not create any damage for the organization ultimately. And I end up this explanation of this animals with the final thing, which is called chameleon. You know what is a chameleon? The peculiarity or the significance of chameleon is they can color changes they can change the colors according to the situation. Changes colors according to people he is with. He'll say one thing to this group and something else to another. Very problematic, very dangerous. So once you understand it is a chameleon, be very careful. No need to kill them like snakes, but we have to be very careful. Don't disclose anything very personal. Don't disclose anything with a secret, which is utmost secret to this type of people. So they handle with care. Chameleons to be handled with care. Once you understand it's a chameleon, you have to handle these people with care. My dear friends, these are all animal codes. Okay. After this, you can easily connect who is the elephant in my loam, who is the snake in my loam, who is the lion in my loam, and who is the peacock in my loam. Okay. So that is a lighter food for thought, and we are moving a little seriously towards our point of different strokes for different folks. So definitely, it is all about motivation. Different strokes means how to motivate. Okay. I used to quote that example of Kinetic Honda. I don't know. JCI Bangladesh, you have that brand over here. That scooter, Kinetic Honda. It's a first scooter in India. First brand scooter in India introduced with self-starter, Kinetic Honda. Okay. So till that time, everybody used Kickstarter. Kinetic Honda was a first scooter introduced in India with a self-starter. Now almost every scooters are having self-starters. Question is, are you able to self-start yourself? Okay, that is about self-starting. We are not talking about self-starting. We are talking about motivating others. How to motivate others. Okay, if you want to motivate others, you have to be self-motivated. That is a fact. So the first thing you have to do is you have to be a good listener. If you want to motivate others, you should be able to understand others. So ultimate objective of listening is understanding. Some of us may have confusion regarding listening and hearing. It is said that hearing is sharing, but listening is caring. So what is the peculiarity of listening? Listening, we listen not only with our ears, we listen with our senses. Okay, we listen with all our senses. It goes to our mind. Whatever we listen, go to our mind. During this webinar sessions, I know that some of you may be having passive listening because you are not having that atmosphere in a classroom. You are watching the screen, and some of you may be having passive listening. Some of you may be having selective listening. The points which attracts you, you listen to that point. Other time you will be passive. So be a good listener. What are the once you become a good listener, everybody loves a friend. Everybody loves a leader who listen to you. Okay, we also love a leader who listen to you people. There is a story. I don't know whether it is right or not, but it's a very interesting story I have heard years back. It is about a guy who got an interview letter maybe 20 years back. He got an interview letter from Hero Cycles. Even our friends in Bangladesh might have heard about a brand of cycles. It's a very old brand in India, Hero Cycles. So Hero Cycles is in Punjab, Jalandhar. So they got this guy got a letter. We will call him Thomas. Thomas got a letter to go to Hero Cycles for an interview. So it's not a letter. It was a telegram. That time it was telegram. It was faster. Now telegram is dead. Telegram is no more in India. So he got the telegram. He was getting prepared for the interview. He gone through all the cycle industry, how this Hero Cycles was performing last year. All those data he collected on internet. So it was very difficult for him to collect the data, but he collected, he managed, and he did it. He went to reach Punjab, and he went for the interview, and he found that only 6 people were invited. Only 6 people were invited for the interview. So he was the third person actually. He went inside, and there were 5 people sitting in the interview board. They started asking him questions. The first question came, and Mr. Thomas was not knowing answer for that, because whatever he studied, whatever he learned about bicycles and the bicycle industry was not relevant. They were asking something out of the blue. So he was not able to understand. First question, he told, sir, I don't know. Second question came. Again, it is out of syllabus, nothing about cycles. So he told, I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 questions they asked. Not for a single question he was knowing the answer. But smilingly he answered, I don't know, sir. I don't know, sir. 20th question also he told, I don't know, sir. So the person in the interview board told, okay, the interview is over, you can go, sir. So he returned home without any hope, because 20 questions were asked and he was not able to answer for a single question. He came back to Punjab and he was not having any hope. But surprisingly, after 1 week, he got a call letter from the company, not a call letter, again telegram. Join Hero Cycles immediately. He got stuck, my God. Without answering a single question, how I got appointed. So he was surprised. So he thought, for a while, he thought maybe another Thomas was there. There may be initial change or something like that. But he traveled back to Punjab again. He joined, and when he reached there, he could understand that it was the same Thomas who was appointed. Still, he was surprised because he was not knowing the reason. But after 1 week, during the lunchtime, he was in the canteen and he saw one HR manager who was in the interview board. So he went to the HR manager and asked him, sir, I have a small doubt. Can I ask? Well, smilingly, he told, yes, you can ask. Do you understand me, sir? And then he told, yeah, I understand you. You are Mr. Thomas from Kerala. You came. Thomas from India. You came for the interview. I remember. So he was happy. At least this person knows me. Yes, sir. During that interview, you asked me 20 questions. Okay. Out of those 20 questions, I didn't answer even for a single question. But how come I was appointed? I'm really surprised, sir. With a smile, that HR manager replied, my dear Thomas, it was very simple. Our objective was very simple. Our objective was not to get answers. We know that nobody can answer for any question. In such a way only we frame the questions. But our objective was this. When you hear questions again and again which are not answerable, how you respond or how you react to that situation. We were looking at that. All the others were frustrated. First question, they told, I don't know, sir. Second question, I don't know, sir. Third question, I don't know, sir. Fourth question, I don't know, sir. Fifth question, they will tell, I'm leaving, sir. So they were all frustrated after fifth question, sixth question. My dear boy, we are astonished to see with any point of disappointment, with a cool smile, you are answering to the 20th question also. You are not at all ashamed to say that I don't know the answer 20 times, and you are wearing that smile always. So we finalize that you are the appropriate person, you are the right person to be put in our customer complaint cell. You know what happens? Customer asks left and right, customer executive. After that, they have to answer, thank you, sir, thank you, madam, for again. So, my dear friends, listening pays. Listening pays. So, being a good listener always motivate others. When you are a good leader, good listening skills motivate others. Communicate and encourage. I'm not elaborating much. My dear friends, a leader should be accessible. Always I used to say a leader should not be out of coverage area. Whenever people approach you over phone or physically, you should not be out of coverage area. A real leader should be approachable. This approachability motivates people to come to you. Whenever you feel that people are not coming to me, one reason may be this: you are not approachable. You are building an invisible wall around you. So communicate with people. And one thing we have to understand, that we feel that we are using our mobiles, using our computers, we are communicating to people. We are a lot of information is being shared. But please to understand, your gadgets, your mobile phones, your computers exchange information, but it is only people who communicate. So a good leader should be a communicator, communicate personally, communicate person to person, not through mobiles. Communicate personally, my dear friends. Communicate and encourage others. Appreciate. It's a definitely very, very strong way of motivating others. Appreciate. Appreciation, we have to appreciate at the appropriate time. That is very important. If appreciation is due today, you have to appreciate today itself. Appreciation delayed is appreciation denied. So appreciate at the appropriate time is very, very important. That is a wonderful methodology to motivate others and recognize people. My dear friends, after getting money, the next thing we want to achieve or we want to get is recognition. Any organization, we are working hard in any organization for one of the most reasons is recognition. We want to get recognized. Everybody love to be recognized. So at the appropriate time, again, when recognition is due, newly recognize people. If recognition is due to anybody in your team, recognize them. Again, any very, very strong way of appreciating or motivating people. So 4 important way of motivating others: be a good listener, communicate and encourage, be accessible, appreciate and recognize. My dear friends, 4 types of members in your team. There are 4 types of members in your team, and we have to handle these people in 4 different ways. Please to understand, in every team, we have this 4 type of people. Number 1 is called workhorses, my dear friends. Workhorses. Who is a workhorse? Workhorses, there are people who can be called as workhorses in your team. Horses are very powerful. Horses can run fast. Horses are very, very useful for human beings if they are tamed properly. So there may be people in your team, there may be members in your team who will be having high willingness to do anything but low ability. They will do whatever you are telling to them. If you are giving a perfect instruction, they will do exactly what you instruct, what you tell. But they are not able to do anything by their own. They cannot think and act. If I ask you, is this type of workforces or assets or liabilities to any organization, what will be your answer? Some people, at least some people may be telling that they are liabilities. No, but most of you may be telling that they are assets, not liabilities. But how we can make them 100% best? What is the way to transform them? How we can make them high willingness and high ability? How we can make them like that? Nothing but the best way to do that is train them. Please understand in what way or which department or which purpose you are utilizing this type of team members. Train them properly. This is the as the members of the largest organization which imparts positive training to our members, youngsters. Definitely we have to understand. We can transform workforces by training them. We can make them 100% high willingness, high ability, from high willingness, low ability. Number 2, stars. The second category is stars. They are having high willingness and high ability. We can see only few stars in any organization, my dear friends. We can see only very few stars in any organization because they are highly willing and they are having high ability also. There is no strain for a leader to handle this type of people. We have to pat them occasionally. They will do their best because they are stars. So no need of elaborating much about stars. But the third category is called deadwood. Deadwood. Who are all deadwoods? Tell me, who are all deadwoods? What is a dead wood? Dead wood is a wood which is of no use. They will not grow. It is dried out and they occupy spaces unwantedly in your place. So what we do with a dead wood, we will chop it off. If whenever a dead wood is there in your premises, the best way to clear that space is chop it off. So there are deadwood type of people in any organization. Few people may be deadwoods. They are having low willingness and low ability. They are not having any capacity to do anything, or they are not having any willingness to do also. So whenever you come across this deadwood people, it is the best methodology we can adopt to this type of people to clear them off from the organization. Otherwise, they will spread this deadwood mentality to others also. Okay, so it is better to clear off deadwoods from your organization. And these are the most important type of people who has to be handled with care. Sleeping elephants. As we discussed in the animal kingdom also, elephants are very powerful, my dear friends. They are defined like this. They have low willingness but high ability. Just imagine, they can do anything. They have the know-how. They have the capacity to do also, but they don't have the willingness. I don't know everything, but I am not willing to do. What will you do? Are these sleeping elephants assets or liabilities to any organization? Undoubtedly, they are assets if you can transform them to high willing people or high willing elephants. So to make them highly willing elephants, what we can do? Only the best magic wand you can apply to these people is motivating them. Motivating them. You have to understand what motivates the sleeping elephants in my organization, in my team. That is why we are called different folks for different strokes. So this we can motivate the sleeping elephants. Once you motivate sleeping elephants, they are going to be the best performers. Immediately they will transform themselves as stars. Only thing is that your ability to understand them, your ability to motivate them. Some of them may be motivated with recognition. Some of them may be motivated with rewards. Some of them may be motivated with praise. So you have to understand what motivates which sleeping elephant. Once they wake up, they will be assets to the organization. They will be one of the strongest contributors. My dear friends, please to understand 4 type of people. We have workhorses, we have stars, we have deadwoods, we have sleeping elephants. So apply different strokes, as I told, to different folks, so that we can get the best out of this 3 types of people. 4th type of people, deadwood is not at all relevant. So my dear friends, I am coming to the last segment of this session, which is called 7 proven strokes to successfully manage people. These are proven strokes, my dear friends. 7 proven strokes to successfully manage people. Let us see which are the strokes which can apply to different types of people in our organization, in our team. So the first stroke we can apply is touch the hearts and minds of people. If you ask me, if I ask you also, what is a single sentence about human relations? How you can define human relations in a single sentence? I think this is the best definition for human relations. Touching the hearts and minds of people. Your ability to touch the hearts and minds of people is nothing but human relations. So human relation, the better relations, the approach towards people of your team members is one of the most powerful positive strokes you can give to your team members, from which you can get desired results, my dear friends. One of my favorite movie clip, yesterday Irfan was telling about he is a fan of Bollywood. So this is one of the this clip is from one of the Bollywood movies, which released long back, and the name of this movie is Munnabai MBBS. Okay, so let us watch a wonderful scene which I can never forget in life from Munnabai MBBS.
रुक जा, दिखता नहीं, गीला है, एक जाएगी तो अभी दूसरी आएगी। 25 टाइम झाड़ू मारो तो भी कम है। हम इंसान है कि मशीन? कितना टाइम साफ करेगा? मैं मरता रहूंगा दिन भर, झाड़ू मारता रहूंगा। सब यहीं से जाएंगे, दूसरी जगह से नहीं जा सकते। अरे उधर मत चलो, अभी साफ किया है। सॉरी। क्या सॉरी? तुम तो सॉरी बोल के निकल जाएगा। सबका क्रिकेट अपन को सुनना पड़ेगा। सुनेगा? 20 साल से तो सुनता आया है।
काका, नाम क्या है तुम्हारा?
क्यों? कंप्लेन करने का है? मकसूद नाम है मेरा, जाओ करो।
नहीं, कंप्लेन नहीं करने का, थैंक यू बोलने का है। सच्ची। तुम बहुत मस्त काम करते हैं मकसूद भाई। पेशेंट लोग जब ठीक होता है ना, तो सब डॉक्टर को थैंक यू बोलता है। तुम साला सबका कचरपट्टी उठाता है, तुमको कोई थैंक यू नहीं बोलता। मेरे को तुमको थैंक यू बोलने का मकसूद भाई। थैंक यू मकसूद भाई।
चल बस, लायक है क्या? काम करने दे, जा।
सॉरी।
कोई बात नहीं, जा जा, हो जाएगा सब।
Dear friends, what a fantastic scene it was. If we can give Oscar award for a small role of 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I would have, if I've been given the power, I would have given that Oscar award not to Sanjay Dutt, to that sweeper, that person who enacted the role of a sweeper. Just imagine a person who was cursing everyone throughout his work. He was a sweeper in a hospital. So whoever comes and goes from that hospital, the dirt from the shoes, that makes the floor dirty. Again, he clean and he cursed them, those people. Every time he was cursing people. So Munnabai was going towards him. Again, he told, yeah, one more guy came to make the floor dirty. So Munnabai came, asked him, what is your name? He told, okay, you are going to complain. You go and complain. My name is Maqsood. Then Munnabai told, no, I'm not going to complain. I came to appreciate you. I came here to thank you. He hugged that person and told, sir, my dear Maqsood Bhai, the people who are coming to this hospital and who are getting their diseases cured, they thank the doctor who treated them, but they never thank you who is clearing off their dirts from their shoes. So I came here to thank you, Maqsood Bhai. He hugged him. Just imagine that expression on his face. And while going back again, this Munnabai made the floor dirty, and he told sorry. And see the reaction? He told, no problem, it will be like that only. We can change the attitude of people by touching the hearts and minds of people, my dear friends. We can change the attitude of people. There are two powerful words in English. It is in English, and we use that in our local languages also. It is thank you and sorry. Both words, if you are using them at appropriate time, they are very, very, very powerful, my dear friends. Stephen R. Covey, in his one of the most popular books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the most the best findings I love from Stephen R. Covey is the concept of emotional bank account. My dear friends, the richest man in this world is not a person who is having maximum bank account in maximum balance in bank accounts, maximum credit cards, maximum debit cards, maximum cars, maximum real estates. The richest man in this world, the richest person in this world is a person who is having maximum accounts in the hearts of people with maximum emotional bank account credit balance. Please do understand. Please touch the hearts and minds of people, which is one of the powerful strokes which attracts people towards you, which gives you the result desired by you. So that is one of the most powerful strokes you can give to your team members. Number 2 is making them feel important. Every one of us come to this world with a sticker, invisible sticker on our forehead. There is something printed or written in that invisible sticker. It is nothing but I am important. That sticker, it is written in that sticker, I am important. It is invisible, but in your actions, in your acts, it is visible. I am important. Everybody wanted to be treated as an important person. I heard about a story about a party organized by Queen Elizabeth in honor of an African diplomat. This African diplomat came from a very, very rural village of Africa. but he was a diplomat. He was not acquainted with the dining table etiquettes and manners and everything. So it was a sit-down dinner, 6-course dinner. Things were being served, and he was struggling right from keeping that towel on his lap. So he was feeling very, very strange. Everybody sitting in front of the table, in front of the queen and this diplomat were sitting on the head table, others on both sides. They started eating. So everybody were using forks and spoons, and this person was not knowing how to use forks or spoons. He was using his hands. So everybody felt laughing. What? He's a joker. Why this queen brought a joker from Africa in front of us as a diplomat, as the guest for the day? So it went on. Everybody thought of laughing, but they suppressed their laughs because that will be an insult. Ultimately, the final thing came. We will see that finger bowl will come, warm water in a bowl with a lemon piece. It came. This guy was seeing this for the first time. This diplomat did is he squeezed that lime piece to that warm water, and he drank. Just imagine, everybody was ready to laugh. It was the funniest scene they have seen in a dining table. So the queen was literally stuck. If they start laughing, that is the biggest insult queen can give to a guest who is a diplomat. In the next second, what the queen did was she squeezed that lemon in her finger bowl, and he drank. And everybody instantly followed the queen. Everybody drank their warm water, the water in the finger bowl with the lemon pieces squeezed in them. My dear friends, we have to make our each and every team member of our team feel that they are important. Everybody wants to feel as a most important person in their team. So make them feel important is the second stroke you can give. And number 3 stroke is make work interesting. Sometimes we feel that our members are lethargic. That is not because that they don't love the work. We are not giving opportunities to enjoy the work. So we have to understand what is the problem and treat them. So we have to give, if the medicine is sore, we have to give that medicine in such a way that you are making them feel that it is sweet. We know that it is lockdown period. We have only Zoom. Okay, how many people? I can see a lot of people making Zoom enjoyable. There are a lot of LOMs organizing their family get-togethers in Zoom. I can see local organizations organizing karaoke competition through Zoom. So how many of you get out for a JCI project very happily, having springs under your feet? Okay, this is a JCI project, let's go, enjoy. So please make your work, your task enjoyable, that each and every member will enjoy it. There is a story, I use this story every time. If somebody heard the story before, please pardon me, but it is appropriate for this. I have read the story from Reader's Digest. There was a school in Washington. I read this during my school days. In that school, every student has to wear uniforms except on Fridays. This happened long back. So one Friday, they have the liberty to wear anything. One Friday, one boy came to school wearing a white plain t-shirt with a big message printed on that t-shirt in red block letters. The message was like this: I love my school. I love my school. What a beautiful message a student can give in his t-shirt. I love my school in red block letters. Under that line, there was a small black sentence, small sentence in black letters. It was like this: when it is closed. So the full message is like this: I love my school when it is closed. That t-shirt became an instant hit. Everybody, every student asked this fellow, from where you purchased this t-shirt? So he told, this is from this place. Very next week, Friday, most of the students were wearing this as the uniform of Friday, this t-shirt. I love my school when it is closed. That became a big headache for the authorities, and they banned that t-shirt in that school. We will forget about Washington. We will forget about school. Then we will forget about that boy. Just imagine about your holiday. In India, now every day is a holiday. Usually we will have Sundays as holidays. Any day. In Bangladesh, I don't know, Friday is a holiday, I don't know. But one day will be holiday. What is your feeling when you get up after the holiday? Will you feel so energetic, so happy? Yes, I have to go to my workplace. I have to go to my business. I have to go to my office. How many will wake up with that? If you are not waking up, there is a problem. So we have to make it interesting. You have to make your workplace interesting. You have to make your task in your organization interesting. Even small things can make big changes, my dear friends. If it is an office, I have seen so many offices where very light music is played. So that creates a wonderful environment. Very in a light volume, music is played. That is one thing. There are a lot of things we can apply according to the taste of our team members, make your work interesting. My dear friends, infuse the spirit of synergy. What do you mean by synergy? My dear friends, when you work in a team, if you work with a team, always 1 + 1 is more than 2. Please do understand, you work in a team with fullest potential. 1 + 1 is always more than 2. Again, let me show you a wonderful video which is really inspiring and which tells you what is the spirit of synergy.
यहाँ रखनी है बस, ठीक है? लेकिन ठेले से लेके नहीं आने का है, अपना हाथ का इस्तेमाल करने का है, समझे? चलो, क्विक, चलो। जल्दी, ठीक रखो, क्विक। चलो जल्दी। वेरी गुड, बहुत अच्छे। अब एक काम करो, ये ईंटें उठाकर वापस वहीं रख दो।
कैसा मजाक है, हम यहाँ हॉकी खेलने आए, ईंटा धोने आए।
अब दादा इन लोग ऐसे ही भागम भाग करेगा या कुछ समझेगा भी? तब नहीं समझेगा, करता रहेगा। वापस लिख दो सर। नहीं सर, सर नहीं। कोई सवाल?
नहीं जी, करते हैं जी। Come on boys, come on, उठो। एक मिनट, हम लोग कुछ तो गलत कर रहे हैं। ऐसा करो, यहाँ से लेके वहां तक एक लाइन में खड़े हो जाओ। लाइन फॉर्मेशन।
समझे तुम लोग? सिर्फ ये मेहनत और कोशिश और टैलेंट से कुछ नहीं होता, काम आसान होता है टीम वर्क से।
My dear friends, infuse the spirit of synergy. I don't think there is more explanation needed after seeing this video, after watching this video. So that spirit of synergy, it is a master stroke you can give. Once that team spirit is infused, they will work automatically. So always as a leader, your most important responsibility, your most important task is to create that environment of synergy, team spirit. My dear friends, the next point is grow mutual faith and support within your team. help each other. Whenever I know we cannot expect that everybody in your team will be having equal potential. There may be people who are very weak team members. What we will do? Will we throw away? No. We have to extend our hands to lift them up. That is the responsibility of a good leader, my dear friends. Lift them up. Whenever they are down, lift them up. One of the videos, sorry for showing more videos because I'm fond of a lot of videos. Rather than speaking a lot, I feel webinars will communicate more through effective videos. This is a video which fascinated me a lot, touched my heart a lot in the recent times. So whenever you feel that one person in your team is down, extend your hand and lift them up, my dear friends, like this.
Best of luck, Sneha.
सपना तो Come on, Sneha, डर मत. तू बेस्ट है, तू कर सकती है. Come on. सपना तो सपना होता है, ना कोई बड़ा ना कोई छोटा होता है. मम्मी मेरी कहती है, सपने देखो खुल के देखो, सपने पर तुम अपने देखो. मम्मी मेरी कहती है.
करण, आपकी बारी.
Come on, Karan, all the best. Karan, तोड़ दे, फोड़ दे. तेरे हाथ फैला दे. तू अपनी मम्मी का स्ट्रॉन्ग करा दे.
आयुष, sit down.
करण, तू हार मत मान. तू फिर से ट्राई कर. तू कर सकता है. Come on.
आयुष, come. I said come here. मैं हाथ ऊपर कर. दीवार की तरफ मुड़ जाओ. जाओ.
आयुष, तालियां बहुत हो गई. आपने अपनी मम्मी से क्या सीखा है, बताइए.
सर, भरोसा करना. मम्मी कहती है कि अगर कोई भी अपना हौसला खो देता है तो उसका भरोसा बनना चाहिए. हौसला डबल हो जाता है.
My dear friends, what a touching words. Whenever somebody is down, uplift them, extend your hands. Their confidence will be doubled. What a great message from a small video. My question is, how many of us can be Ayush like this? How many of you can uplift everyone in our team when they are down? That is the question. So our point is, grow mutual faith and support. Yes, grow such an environment in your team, my dear friends. Throw challenges. Throw challenges. So that this is one way you can motivate people. You can inspire people. So in training programs, we not only training programs. Now a terminology. How many of you know a terminology called gamification? Can you write on the chat box what is gamification? If you know what is gamification, please write what is gamification. If you heard about a word gamification, you can write what is gamification. What is gamification? If you heard, otherwise no problem. Teasing through games. Good. Balu to everyone. Renju, see Matthew. Small games, teaching. Companies giving training through games. Learning through games. Teaching someone something using games. Making work more funny. So many answers. Good. My dear friends, gamification is being used by companies. Gamification to tease the customers. Gamification is used by trainers. So gamification is used everywhere. It is creating, gamification is used to create a competitive atmosphere. Okay, it is to create a competitive atmosphere. If I ask you to type 1 to 10, who will be completing 1 to 10 faster in the chat box? I'm not doing doing that because of the lack of time. If I give a task, you will compete with each other. So automatically I am creating a gamification environment. I'm throwing a challenge in front of you so that you are competing with each other. You are giving your maximum potential. This is another stroke with which you can motivate your team. Throwing challenges to your team members, my dear friends. And finally, instill pride. Instill pride. Okay. Once you are able to, if you are successful to instill pride about your team, not about the individual, about the team, they will work like anything. Whenever that each and every member feel proud and feel that pride within themselves that it is my team, I am playing for my team, that is called pride, my dear friends. I have shown the picture of Abraham Lincoln, icon. Okay, when Abraham Lincoln was elected as the president of United States of America, after being elected, he came from a very, very poor background. Everybody knows. The story might not heard by you, but still it is very relevant, my dear friends. Abraham Lincoln was all set to give his inaugural speech. There is something called inaugural speech of the president. So every president in the United States of America, after getting elected, have to do the first thing they have to do is making the inaugural speech. He was all set. He was standing in front of the podium and he was about to deliver the inaugural speech. So he was about to address. There was pin drop silence, and he was addressing the Senate, which was the upper body that time in United States of America. He was addressing the senators. One senator stood up and he shouted. That senator, very senior fellow, 74 years old, very rich man. He shouted, "My dear President, your father used to make shoes for me." What was the message? My dear President, your father used to make shoes for me. Everybody knows, or most of them knows, that his father was a cobbler. So this person's objective was to make everybody understand this president's father was a cobbler. He was teasing him. So everybody thought it is gone. President's speech is about to start. And what an insult. How he will react. Everybody was looking upon Abraham Lincoln. With a smile on his face, Abraham Lincoln started, "My dear Senator, thank you for reminding me about that. My father was a cobbler. And I'm so happy to learn that he made shoes for you. If you have any problems with the shoes made by father, please tell me. I can make better shoes for you." Everybody stood and applauded, my dear friends. Everybody stood and applauded. This is what is called pride. This is what we have to develop in each and every team member. That is a beautiful stroke in which you can create team spirit in your team. My dear friends, this guy, Herbert Paul Brooks, American ice hockey player and a coach in during 80s, a very, very popular coach of ice hockey, and he was an outstanding player. And he was the coach of 1980 Olympic medal winner ice hockey team of United States of America. These are the words of Paul Brooks, Coach Herb Brooks. When you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than one on the back. Get that through your head. My dear friends, I repeat, when you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than one on the back. Get that through your head. You will be carrying your own name on the back, but you will be carrying the name of your country on the front. That is the message he wanted to give to your team members, my dear friends. What a sort of inspiration. What a big inspiration. So always instill team spirit in your team members. That is the magic you can, with that spirit, you can work magic with your team, my dear friends. And I am coming to the conclusion of this session, different strokes for different folks. Before that, let me go through the points once again. 7 proven strokes. Let me go through once again. Point number 1, touch the hearts and minds of people. Second one, make them feel important. Number 3, make work interesting. The 4th stroke, infuse the spirit of synergy. Next one, grow mutual faith support. The next one, throw challenges. And the 7th one, instill pride, my dear friends. And I have the final video for you. It is definitely a thought-provoking one. This is the leader. This is the leader. And different folks are going to join in the journey. That was no struggle and co-incorporated. I'm sure that you can correlate one person in that team who was pulling or who was dragging in that cart to one person in your team or your organization. I'm sure you may be thinking that only. My dear friends, Maya Angelou, the most popular activist and poet, she told like this. This is very popular. Every time I love to quote this. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel, my dear friends. So people may forget your words, people may forget your actions, but never anybody will forget how you made them feel. So how you treat people, how you treat your team members, it determines the distance between your vision and your result. So I think I have touch the tip of the iceberg of giving different strokes for different folks in your team to get the desired results as a leader. My dear friends, I'm signing off. Thank you very much, JCA Bangladesh and JCA Dhaka East and Dhaka Achievers, JCA Palgad and JCA Nanmara for this wonderful opportunity. The National President, JCA Sara and Mehdi and my colleague trainers, Arman, Irfan and Pritham, and each and everyone for this wonderful opportunity, wonderful platform. I am signing off. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it was one of the most mesmerized trainings I have ever been to, especially in one of the videos. I saw tears coming down my eyes. So yeah, I had to go to the washroom to make sure I'm composed. And I'm back again. So you really can't go because we have the QS session. So
Yeah, I'm here.
so people, if you have questions, please raise your hand. You know, there is an option of raising hands. Please raise your hand. We'll be taking questions from you. If you're reluctant to raise hands, you can always write the question in our chat box.
Exactly.
The first question is from Pravan Krishnan. Sir, please raise your question. Mr. Pavan Krishnan.
Yes, Pavan? Yeah. Pavan, the floor is all yours.
Mr. Pavan Krishnan, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. Pavan, please.
Sir, can you give a bit more clarification to how to tackle the donkey type of people, the stubborn nature people?
Yeah, stubborn type of people, they have no. Can you mute others? Donkey type of people, as I told, they have no ability to think. They have no brains at all. So we cannot convince them. So that is what I told. Bulldoze them. Just to go across. That is the best way. You cannot convince those people at all, and those people are not going to contribute anything for your organization. So ignoring also will not help you, because they will create problems. So bulldoze them and go ahead.
So that's the solution. Bulldoze the donkey.
Yeah, bulldoze the donkey. No other go. Donkey type of people. Okay.
Right. The next question is from DN Reddy, sir. Sir, please raise your question.
Please, DN Reddy.
Yes, sir. Santosh sir, Nagareddy from Andhra Pradesh.
How are you? Great.
Very fine, sir. Very fine, sir.
Yeah,
sir, how to sleeping elephants? How to manage, sir?
That is what I told. Sleeping elephants are having high potential, but they are not ready to do because of so many reasons. So we have to find out. The major reason is lack of motivation.
Okay.
Sleeping elephants can be brought into full potential by motivating them. Only thing is that we have to find out what motivates each sleeping elephant. Each sleeping elephant will be motivated through different things. As I told you, somebody will be motivated through rewarding. Somebody will be motivated through motivation, inspiration, good words, praise. You have to find out what motivates whom. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
It's just you have to find the right banana.
Exactly.
The next question. Do you have any? Please raise your hand or just write the question in our chat box.
Yeah, chat box also you can use.
Please, Tushar Malik, please raise your hand.
Tushar Malik, yeah.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, Tushar.
You have wonderfully mentioned different types of people in a team and how we should deal with them.
Thank you.
But my question is like, there are different people who always plays the dangerous role in our team.
Okay. Yeah.
My point is how we can identify those type of people. How I can identify this is the elephant, this is the dumbest people, this is the people who is damaging the team. So what should be the technique to identify?
Wonderful, Tushar. Wonderful question. We might have learned about the SWOT analysis, strength and weakness, for assessing our individual potential. Everyone's individual potential, for assessing that we use SWOT analysis. Same SWOT analysis should be used. If you are an effective leader, you should be able to use that SWOT analysis in your team members also. If you are an effective leader, you should know this is the weakness of my member and this is the strength of my member. If it is not known to you, you cannot do anything with your team. So if you are familiar with this SWOT analysis and understanding people, it's an art which can be acquired through experience only. Initially, you may be hit with this type of people, but after getting that is what is called experience. One or two, after getting hit one or two times, we will understand. So understanding people is an art. So watch people, be in close touch with people, you will automatically understand. Okay. So do the SWOT analysis with your team members also, not only you. So always when you take people in your team or you interact with your team, have a watch on them. Oh, okay, this person may react like this. You are seeing them, watching them day-to-day activities, right? So have a close watch on them, understand them, and act accordingly. That is the best way. So that can be acquired through experience only. Nothing else can help you. Okay. What next?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
The
Tushar.
next question, the next question is from Anil, who is
okay.
having difficulty with his line manager. So his question is how to deal with difficult line manager at work.
Okay. Difficult line managers can be that is what difficult line managers that difficult to be explained. What difficulty, what sort of difficulty they are creating. If they are lethargic, that is what. If they are lethargic, if they are not doing the work, they are underperforming, underproductive. I'm taking an example because I'm reading between the lines. Difficult, that word only you have given. So you have to find out the reason and do the treatment. And if they are lethargic, if they are not finding anything interesting in work, as a leader, you have to make work interesting, right? So even during the COVID period also, you have to enjoy helping people, servicing people when you are going for a JCA project. Okay. So difficult difficult team members, you have to deal by giving different types of strokes like this. You have to understand them and you have to do whatever is expected from you. So you have to understand the cause, reason, and do accordingly, act accordingly. That's it.
Right. That's pretty much answers it. The next question is pretty interesting, and coincidentally, it's from a female participant.
Oh, great.
How do you deal with snakes in an organization? No gender biasness there. How do you deal with snakes?
Already I explained. Snakes are, if it is venomous, okay. If they are poisonous snakes, no way. Definitely they will bite you whenever they get a opportunity. So snakes, how we treat snakes? What will you do if you find a snake in your house, inside your house? Treat them like that only. If you hug them, whenever you see a snake inside your house, hug them. But what we do, everybody knows. If it is a poisonous snake, we will get rid of them. That is the best way. And if we see that there are few snakes who are not poisonous, so let them be a part of it. Keep a distance, that's all. If you feel that they are poisonous, get rid of them. No other go. Get rid.
There is a second part question to this, because I felt one question which clearly attracts this one is, if the snakes are pretty old and holding key positions in an industry, how do you remove those snakes?
This resembles something. Okay. Okay. Still, if the snakes are pretty old and powerful and still holding the key, the only way is that keep yourself away from those snakes. That is the best thing. You cannot hit them because they are very powerful snakes, very old snakes. Keep a distance. Keep away from them. That is the best way to save yourself.
Santosh sir,
yes.
I just said about this one. The other point is that if the snake is like very powerful in the organization,
okay,
right? You will have a much harder approach towards the bosses, which can destroy your image also.
Okay.
So how do you deal with that?
That's what. If the snake is very powerful, this whatever strategy I told is not will not work. You cannot get rid of the snake. The snake will get rid of you. Before that, keep a distance. Keep a distance. Keep away from the snake. That is the best thing. Otherwise, it will harm you. Definitely, it is going to harm you. Okay. Yes, it is. Your understanding is important. The snake is powerful, or if the snake is less powerful, manageable with you, get rid of that snake. If the snake is more powerful, get away from that snake. Okay.
My suggestion would be start searching for a new job where there are no.
That's what I told.
The next question is from Imtiaz Chaudhary. Imtiaz, if you please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Many thanks for such a wonderful session, sir.
Thank you.
My question is whether I am afraid, whether I myself is the lion or peacock or giraffe.
Okay.
How can I identify?
You cannot identify. Others will identify. The problem with these people is that they will not understand who they are. Others will identify. Okay, this is a peacock. This is a lion. Okay. Imtiaz, that is very difficult. The point with this animal kingdom characters is that you will be identified by others only. You cannot identify. But on a strong introspection, maybe you may get clues that I'm going this way. If you are able to identify, you are the best. You can correct yourself. Okay.
But the problem is
some of them are harmless. Peacock is okay. It is harmless. But don't be a harmful animal in that kingdom.
The problem is, sir, if I ask my team member, I think we won't get the correct judgment from them. They will be on my face. They won't give the honest answer.
That is the problem, Imtiaz. People grading them or branding them as this animal, they will not do on your face. People will do on your back only. That is the unfortunate situation in this. So in this case, your very close friends can help you. Imtiaz, you are being branded as a elephant, or you are being branded as a peacock. Your close friends in the circle can give you. Being branded unknowingly, they can help you. Otherwise, you will not understand. It is very difficult to understand, because unknowingly it is happening. It is a part of our life. It is a part of our character. It's a part of our behavior. So, if being close touch with your friends, and you usually have a introspection with them. So, am I going wrong? You tell me what all the things I have to improve. Open discussion with your close friends, so that they may tell you, you are going in this way. So you please correct it. Okay. So that is, I think that is the best way. Yeah, Imtiaz, thank you very much.
Or if you can afford Imtiaz bhai, probably hire a personal investigator who would listen what others are saying at your back.
That is also a very, very good applicable idea.
The next question is from Tarif Khan. So Tarif, please raise your.
Yeah, Tarif.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so very much for this wonderful session. I'm highly inspired. Sir, the question is, if the person in the organization is very stubborn, then is it better to address the person with data facts or with explaining the situation of his or her activity?
That depends upon your experience with that person previously. If you feel that that person can be, you can make him understand what the actual fact is, it's okay. If he's a stubborn and just like a donkey, nothing can be done. And if he's a very powerful donkey above you in an organization, you cannot bulldoze them. Again, it is better to get rid very fast. Okay. You don't go that way. You don't go that way. You take a deviation. Okay. If the donkey is very stubborn and very powerful, you cannot bulldoze that donkey. The best thing you can do is that you take another way. Take a deviation and go. The otherwise, go back. Better. You cannot bulldoze them. And we are telling about the donkeys who are less powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is from Rizwanu, who is asking you, how important is communication skills and expressions as an important aspect of the leadership skill?
Very, very important. Very, very important. Whatever results we are getting, communication not only means your way of speaking, the way of behavior, how you are translating things to others. I have seen very, very effective leaders who cannot speak very well, but they bring results. So communication, the way of behavior to others, how you reaching out others, that is also communication. So that's what I told. Nowadays, we are that personal touch and communication is missing. That is by that link, that close link is missing. We are using gadgets. We think that we through mobile and all we are communicating. No, we are sharing informations. We are only sharing informations. It is people who communicate. So interact with people, personal interaction. Okay. So definitely, I don't mean to say that speaking skills are least important. Speaking skills also play a vital role, because a good speaker who can communicate the message clear across, they can really inspire people. So, but the most important thing in communication is how you are reaching out people. How you are getting touch with people, your relation skills. So that is more important than your speaking skills. Communication is very, very, very important. Communication is the lifeblood of leadership.
The next question is from Shirisha. And the question is, in organization, in order to go forward, we trust people. But when these trusted one when these people we trust, they create blocks, how do we tackle this sort of people? And because these affect our growth as well.
Shirisha, when you grow up in organization, you should be able to develop strategies. That is why we are learning different strokes for different folks. Once you are blocked, that becomes your experience. Okay, this person or this type of people will react or behave like this. So next time that becomes an experience. You will not do the same thing. you will try to do in a different way. You know that there will be a block from this person, you will be preoccupied. So you have to plan. You have to plan in advance. So you have to, this learning people is like reading books. Okay, what is in the 20th chapter, you have to go to the 20th chapter only. Then only you will know. Okay, if you are the 15th chapter, you will know up to 15th chapter only. So it is a big book. Learning people is just like a big book. It will keep on. So keep on going and going. So from the available time, you have to try to understand people, and you make your strategies to go ahead in your leadership ladder. And everybody, if I write a book, I can write a book in my journey to become a national president. So it was a long journey with all this, whatever you told, lot of blogs, a lot of hurdles, everything. So it is all about strategy, understanding people or anticipating things and making your strategy to go ahead.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Shobhana. The question is, sometimes people think being nice and humble is a weakness. So how to deal with this kind of people and this sort of situations?
Can you repeat?
Being nice and humble is thought to be a weakness for a lot. So
Okay.
how do we handle this sort of situations and this sort of people?
So if you are nice and simple, people, others will take advantage of us. That is what they are asking. Okay, right. So nothing wrong in being nice and humble, but being nice and humble is one part. People are taking undue advantage of you is another part. So being nice and humble is one of the best characters, one of the best qualities you can portray about yourself. But once you understand this, these people, because of our attitude, are making undue advantage, taking undue advantage. It is your call to how to handle those type of people. So a person who is making undue advantage of you does not deserve that nice expression and humbleness. So that is in your attitude. You should not allow people to exploit you. That is the simple word. Nothing wrong in being humble and nice, but never allow people to exploit you. Once it is going to the exploitation level, get rid of these people. That is the best thing.
The way you are saying get rid of the people sounds very scary, sir.
No, Mehdi, it is very important. Otherwise, your days are spoiled. You will be stressed. So at times you have to take tough decisions in life if you are a good leader.
Okay. The next question is from Ahsanur Rahman Malik, Ronnie Bhai. Ronnie Bhai, if you could ask your question, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you in here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your session. It's a session for me. But actually, I want to know the working with powerful snacks. Working with powerful snacks, how is important networking skill?
So you can you repeat the last part? I didn't hear properly. Working with powerful snakes.
Working with powerful snakes, how is important is networking skill?
Okay, in networking, how important is powerful working with powerful snakes? That's your question. Okay, networking. That is a very, very fantastic question. When we network and when we grow through networking, if there are powerful snakes in between, how will you handle? So that is actually a snake and ladder game. Okay, and at times but it is our life is not played through that dice. Okay, you are not moving ahead according to the 2 or 3, which is that count coming on the dice, but you are deciding to which ladder I have to go or which snake I have to surpass or cross. Definitely, when we network with people in our profession, in your business, in our organization, we see a lot of powerful snakes. But I feel that they cannot do any harm until and unless we are relying on them. We always used to hear that if you want to harm a person, then only you require power. Otherwise, love is enough. I think you have heard this. If you want to harm or trouble a person, then only you require power. Otherwise, love is enough. So that I think there is the answer in that for your question. So
thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anshu.
The next question, and I feel is one of the pretty interesting questions that I thought of asking.
Yeah.
So the question is, what about individuals who are suffering from multi-dimensional figures, or as I call it, a multi-animalistic behavior? Right? So people who shows all sorts of behavior.
An individual, sometimes he's a lion, sometimes he's a peacock. Are you asking like that? Sometimes
Yeah.
he's a chameleon. Sometimes at times he's a snake also, very dangerous.
So how does a supervisor or an operator manage this sort of people?
Once you realize that this person is showing the traits of different animals at different times, I feel keep yourself away is better. Otherwise, you will be dangerous. Even I am finding difficult to handle such type of. I have to search how to handle them. At different times, they are showing different traits of these animals. They will be very dangerous type of people. So better to keep little distance with them. Okay, don't go so close. That is better. We cannot handle them. Of course, we cannot handle them because they are not showing their real color. Those people are not genuine. So different types, different styles means they are not genuine people. What they are showing off is not their real color. There are a lot of people in this around us. You can see a lot of people. We may feel that this person is very humble. That is only a mask. He may not be that much humble. So some people may show different types of animal behavior. Better to keep it. Once you understand that this person is like this, keep a little distance. That's better.
Shouldn't we have confidence on them, like they will be improving someday?
That's good. But you may be having confidence inside the cage of a zoo that one day that lion will be vegetarian. Can you go inside the cage? That is hope. Okay.
Depends. We have to have the
that's
process of a child.
That's it.
The next question is from Akif Mahir sir.
Okay.
Who says that in an organization, it's very important that organization runs with donkeys because there is no one else to run an organization. So how do we realize that donkeys that they are a donkey? And also, should we deal with those donkeys to go forward instead of fighting back?
There is no difficulty to find out a donkey because they will expose themselves. Because the peculiarity with donkeys is that they will expose themselves. That is they are stubborn in their attitude. They don't have anything inside their head. Okay, so it will be very difficult, not very difficult, practically impossible to convince them because nothing is inside, and they will be adamant in your stand. It will be very difficult to run any organization with these donkeys. That is why it is better to go over them.
Right. So we'll take a couple of more questions, which means two more questions. The first question is from Enamul Kobi Shishir. The question is, when your leader is experienced, but you don't have any chance to learn from him, or he does not create any pathway to teach new things to the team, what should he do then?
It is better to, when we follow some groups in Facebook, when we feel that this group is nothing to give for you, we will unfollow. Do the same thing. Okay. When we realize that nothing to be learned from this leader, unfollow the leader. That's the best thing. And don't feel that this leader will do something for tomorrow. He will learn. Better there. We are a lot of leaders to follow. So unfollow the leader and find the right leader.
Right. So we will take the last question if anyone has any.
Yeah.
Any last questions?
The
last question from Anika Dayan. What do we do if the senior manager or boss take credit for our work? Do we complain to management and lose job, or do nothing? Santosh sir, we can't hear you.
Mehdi is back. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So Anika, then thank you very much for a nice question.
Great. I think that was the last question that we took, and we will move forward to the closing session. And I would request the president, local president of JCNMR,
No,
JCA
no,
Palghat,
Palghat,
right?
yeah.
JCA Palghat, Srijit for the closing vote of thanks.
Thank you, moderator, for this privilege. I am here with a mixed feeling. 50% sorrow of ending up our session for races, and 50% happy that we have finished it with a right style. Okay, all my dear Bangladesh brothers and sisters, I convey my heartfelt thanks on behalf of JCA India. First of all, let me get into the duty. I would like to thank our great brother, our master, past National President Santosh Kumar sir, the man behind this great show as far as JCA India is concerned. He's the man, he's the one and only man behind this show from our part for all your knowledge. So thank you so much, sir. You made us really proud, really. We feel proud to have you within our chapter, within our country. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very
I would
much.
like to thank National President JCA India Anish Matthew sir in his absence. I would like to thank National President JCA Bangladesh Sara ma'am. We feel whenever she visited JCA Palakkad or JCA India, she left a feeling that she is our own sister and she is among one of us. Once again, thank you so much, National President JCA Bangladesh Sara ma'am. And I would like to convey my thanks to Pritam sir, Arman sir, Irfan sir, and once again, Santosh. You are being focus of races. You are being the focus of these 4 races. You made program and much as a big round of applause to all of you. A big thanks to coordinator, Varsha Kumar, JC Senator Varsha Kumar, being the one individual of JC Palghat for excellently talking this. I can use the words and I would and you have done too much for from my achievers and Vasif Bhatt from the one thing. Thank you so much, my doctors, for being with me to execute this program to a grand success stage. And once again, I would like to thanks an immense thanks to all my dear JCA and non-JCA audience from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and all over the world, those who witnessed this grand show. And I really both, or not only JCA Palakkad, JCA India is awaiting for to put hands together with JCA Bangladesh for future projects also. Very happy moments. Once again, thanks for offering us offering us such a wonderful, sentimental, emotional, and loving experience with you, my dear brothers and sisters from Bangladesh. Thank you so much from JCA Palakkad and JCA India. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Santosh sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you, JCA Bangladesh. Thank you, Mehdi, and each and everyone.
Thank you, everyone. I think this is first of many more series together that we will be doing, and we will definitely let everyone know of the future online series, because considering COVID-19 will be there for a particular period of time, that is going to be good for us, that we will be able to do this more, and we'll get people like Santosh sir, Arman sir, Irfan sir, and Pritam sir to share their wisdom with us more. With that, we end the session of 4 Aces. I hope everyone loved it. If you have questions, please direct to us. We will definitely let your questions be known by the respective trainers, and we will be definitely sharing the slides with you shortly. Thank you very much. Take care, and good night. Shabba khair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.
Take care.
Thank you all. Bye bye and stay safe. Alaikum. A big shout out from